finna see what's going on. I'm just now getting to this. We finna learn this together, man.
Louisiana rapper NBA YoungBoy's Make America Slime Again tour will not be making a stop in Chicago. The United Center has canceled the concert.
All right, so the NBA YoungBoy show that was scheduled to happen at the United Center in Chicago has officially been canceled. All right, if you don't know, YoungBoy has been out on his Make America Slime Again tour. This is YoungBoy's first full arena headlining tour in several years, coming after a long stretch of legal setbacks and court issues that he's had that has prevented him from doing a tour like this, despite him being one of the most popular artists in the world. All right, so he's been out on this Make America Slime Again tour, and on September 24th he was scheduled to appear in Chicago, which obviously a lot of people were concerned with this fact, given the history between NBA YoungBoy, Lil Tim, and the people in his camp like Quando Rondo and Lil Durk, King Von, OTF. Right, there's a lot of bad blood between these two groups of people, so people were saying, you know, this seems like a bad idea. And it seems like they weren't the only one, because last night we started getting reports that the United Center actually pulled the plug on this whole event. We seen YoungBoy's manager go over on Instagram and post this right here up that said, at the United Center, bitched out. Shout out to Joe Mara at the United Center. He didn't want us to have fun. Scary. You know, and YoungBoy's tour has been a phenomenal success.
I mean, if he was to perform, what was gonna happen, bro? He have security guards for days. This nigga, he's one of the number one rappers right now in the game. He would have top tier securities. Who was gonna touch him, or who was he gonna try to like go after again? Like, I don't understand. I don't know.
Every single date that he has had has been sold out. I'm sure that the Chicago event was going to be the exact same way, sold out. So fans obviously felt some type of way about that. Now, the United Center issued a statement about this, and they said the United Center has made the decision to cancel NBA YoungBoy's show scheduled for Wednesday, September 24th in Chicago. If you purchase through Ticketmaster, refunds will be issued automatically. If you purchase from a third-party reseller, please reach out to your point of purchase. With that, they sent this email to everybody that had purchased tickets that said event canceled. Unfortunately, the event organizer has had to cancel the event. You don't need to do a thing. We'll issue a refund to the original method of payment used at the time of purchase as soon as the funds are received from the event organizer. It should appear on your account within 12 to 21 days. All right, so YoungBoy is not going to be going to Chicago, and I'm going to give y'all my opinion on this whole thing here in just a second. But this comes right after the United Center had to issue a bag policy for your YoungBoy show, right? They posted this up when they thought the show was still going to happen. It said, for the NBA YoungBoy show on September 24th, bags of all sizes, including clear bags, will not be permitted inside the venue. We recommend traveling light and only bringing essentials like your keys and wallet, or leaving larger items and bags in your car. Bag check locker rentals are available at the Uber Zone entrance near Madison Street and Wood Street. For any questions about this policy, reach out to this email, right? So it was clear that they already had some concerns about safety when it came to this specific concert right here. And rightfully so, if I must say so myself, right? We know the history between YoungBoy. We know the history between Lil Durk. We know that there are people in Chicago that are still upset about what happened to King Von. He had family, he had friends, he was becoming a massive rapper. Presumably a lot of people were eating off of King Von's plate, and when he died, that stopped. Right? It changed a lot of people's life, not just King Von.
I get that. But what they have to do with YoungBoy though? I mean, I understand the streets, they don't care who it got nothing to do with. They gonna go whoever affiliated with who, but nobody's gonna touch NBA YoungBoy, bro. I'm not even trying to D-ride or nothing like that. But he have money, bro. He got hella securities. They not gonna let nothing happen to this man, bro. Who's gonna actually try to run up and kill him? Like,
Young Boys and Lil Durks and, everybody involved. There was a lot of people behind the scenes whose life was affected by this. Now, I've been seeing a lot of bloggers and people online saying that, they don't think nothing was going to happen. The United Center should have just let the show take place. Young Boy was going to have security. Police were going to be at the venue. It's all just entertainment, right? I've been seeing this stuff go around online, people saying this, and I got to say that I wholeheartedly disagree, right? This ain't just your average rap beef. There's real smoke in the air between everybody. Real bodies have been dropped on both sides of the aisle. If you think that there aren't people out there that were wanting and willing to get back on Young Boy, you are tripping, right? Mimo 600 did an interview just the other day on Cam Capone News where he kind of spoke on this a little bit. Mimo 600 is obviously affiliated with OTF. Well, I mean, kind of these days, he's mostly referred to as an ex-OTF affiliate, right? Him and Dirk had some falling out, but he spoke on this the other day on Cam Capone News, and here's what he had to say about it.
NBA YoungBoy talking about he gonna come to Chicago and he gonna bring out Lil Tim. What you think? Any truth to that?
I believe him. He got a big fan base, gang. So, and I'm 100% sure that show gonna be sold out. He got a big fan base.
Be any drama there?
I mean, it might. I say like 10%. Yeah, it might.
Is there gonna be a lot of your guys' fans in the audience?
That don't matter. Our fans mutual. Some of our fans mutual. We got fans that like us and we got fans that like them too.
You don't think they gonna ride for you guys being Chicago?
I mean, it's some that diehard fans that'll crash out for this shit. Yeah, I feel like it is though. My honest opinion, it's gonna be some shit. But okay. No, for sure, that's my honest opinion. It's gonna be some shit, but we gonna let it play out.
All right, so that's the words of somebody that's in Chicago, that's from the streets of Chicago, that probably knows how certain people feel behind the scenes, right? And he says he thinks it's going to be something if Young Boy went to Chicago. Now, I've seen people saying, nah, ain't no way, Young Boy is going to be heavily protected. They keep referring to this video right here that was posted where people were claiming that Young Boy had hidden snipers at his shows, kind of scanning the audience, trying to make sure nothing happened. But here's what I got to say about it to everybody that says, wasn't nothing gonna happen to Young Boy if he went. And the first thing is, of course, United canceled this show. There's huge liability behind doing something like this. They know damn well that Young Boy has enemies in Chicago. That's why they issued that bag policy a couple of days ago. They know that the threat can be real. Right now, do I think something was gonna happen to Young Boy while he was performing on stage, while he was at the show? Nah, probably not, because it was.
Don't think that dinner party happen. Once he leave or something like that, somebody probably shoot some shit up or rob somebody or do some goofy shit, like some weird shit. Probably when he leave. But once he there or something, I don't really think that, because they can't get close to this man, bro. How would they get close to a Young Boy? How would they get close to him?
Going to be heavily secured. There probably was going to be police. He might have even had snipers scanning the crowd. But for everybody that says they don't think that something could have happened,
how would he have snipers in the crowd? I mean, how would he have snipers somewhere hidden out watching the crowd? You know how many people that shit would be? How many people are they spectating, bro? There's like over 2,000 people, gang. I know over 2,000 people going to his concert. Probably more than 2,000. So how they, like, come on, bro.
I just want to take y'all back to March 9th, 1997 in Los Angeles, right? Biggie had went to LA after leaving a Vibe magazine party, and he was in LA promoting his Life After Death album. Just 6 months before Biggie was in LA, Tupac had been killed in Las Vegas. At the time, the East Coast, West Coast beef was at its height, and Biggie traveling to LA was considered risky, right? He was going into enemy territory, just just like YoungBoy would have been doing. And just like people were saying it wasn't safe for Biggie in LA, people were saying that YoungBoy probably wasn't safe in Chicago. Now, YoungBoy's tour's been canceled, so he won't be in Chicago, but Biggie's appearances weren't. He did go to LA, and not while he was performing or while he was at one of his appearances. He was shot and killed in a drive-by while sitting in an SUV outside of a party. And I think that something very similar to that could have very well happened to YoungBoy, especially when you consider the fact that back in the 1990s, drill rap wasn't really a thing. There was gangster rap music coming out, but the whole drill wave wasn't a thing. I would be one to argue that it's probably even more dangerous these days than it was back then to go do something like this. Just because everybody's got switches, it seems like everybody is ready to crash out to get some clout off of the drill wave. You know, it's crazy stuff. So I don't want to say that nothing was gonna happen to YoungBoy, because it was highly likely that something was gonna happen. That's why the United Center decided to cancel the show. Like, we're not gonna go through with.
Think about it, yeah, that's true. Some could go on or happen or whatever, but we don't know that, bro. And then YoungBoy, he got homies and shit. It's not like he coming by himself with 2 other people. He probably gonna be deep as hell, deep with security guards. I don't think nobody finna sit on YoungBoy, bro. That's just my opinion, bro. I don't know though.
Because they know that the risk is serious. If something was to go down at the show, 100% they could be held liable, because they know that there is a problem between YoungBoy and people in Chicago. People were sending threats to YoungBoy from Chicago when they found out that he was coming. Allowing something like that to happen in a venue that you own, say somebody does show up and sneak in a fire and let it go in the middle of YoungBoy performing and some people get hit. Now what? Who's to blame? YoungBoy, the people who did it, or the venue that allowed it to happen? Right? If you ask me, all three, because everybody knew that the risk was here. Right? On top of that, I think that this show was a bad idea, because you got to think about the energy that would be in Chicago, in the neighborhoods where the people who don't like YoungBoy are. Right? Their energy is going to be through the roof. And if you live in one of them neighborhoods and you went to the show and you enjoyed yourself, you were posting it on social media, you know, there's a chance that something could have happened to you. So there wasn't just an aspect of imminent danger when it came to YoungBoy. There was also that aspect when it just came to the general public, because for sure, I'm 100% positive somebody was going to lose their life in Chicago that night, whether they were affiliated with YoungBoy or not, if you guys get what I'm...
That's a possible... No, so I'm saying, like, yeah, that's something I could think of. I could be like, okay, that might happen. Once a YoungBoy leave or something, somebody might try to do something stupid. I believe that.
Trying to say, but that's my take on it. That's what I think about it at this point. Y'all gotta let me know what y'all think about it in the comments down below. Do you agree or disagree with what?
Y'all know what I think already.